Good morning. Okay, come on. Y'all say with me, wake up and win, wake up and win, wake up and win. Listen, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. And welcome to the Wake Up and Win show. Yes, it is a great Friday. It's what we call Freedom Friday. What up, y'all? So, listen, good morning. Okay, so we get on here every morning, 5:30 a.m. to give you a win word. What is today's win word? Today's win word is priority. Yes, and our motto that we get up, we get out there, and we go win. But in order to do that, some things have to be set into priority. What is your priority today? See, here's the thing. Someone years ago asked me, how do you balance it all, Najuma? How do you balance motherhood, ministry, being a businesswoman, being a wife? How do you balance all that? And I said to him, you know what? I don't balance any of it because to balance it means that all of it's at the same level. But what it is I set priority. I determine what's most important in the day, in the moment, for the week, for the season, whatever the case might be. And I set the priority and I go after things according to their priority. So today the priority might be the children. Tomorrow the priority might be ministry. At 6 o'clock, getting dinner on the table, that's the priority. And then 8 o'clock, the priority shifts to getting the kids in bed, and all so on and so on and so forth, right? So it was all about determining what's the priority and focus on that. And so today's win word is priority. Listen, here's the thing. If we're going to be winners, and you are a winner, I'm a winner, you're a winner, we are winners, the way we're going to continue to be winners, the way we're going to win is by setting priorities. What is your priority? Life is not asking for us to balance. That's some idea that somebody came up with many years ago, how to live a balanced life. Nobody actually lives a balanced life. I think people try to do their best to be balanced in all things, but the reality is in life, especially in the 21st century, some things are going to always ebb and flow. Some things are going to garner more attention. Other things will garner less attention, right? And vice versa. It's going to fluctuate. If we try to balance it all, try to balance all the balls in the air, we're going to always miss it. But if we focus on what's the priority and put our energy, put our time, put our thoughts, put our money, put our, you know, whatever thinking caps on the priority, then we're more likely to be successful at whatever it is we're doing by setting the priority. So when I was giving this class, managing motherhood, ministry, being a businesswoman, when I was giving that class and I was asked that question, I was like, I can't balance it all because sometimes I'm like focused on being a mom. I can't give the same amount of time to ministry when I'm focused on mommy duties, right? So, and it's not that ministry suffered, it just wasn't the priority when I'm working with my children or if I'm doing a project with my kids and vice versa. So, as we talk about what does it mean to win, what does it mean for us to win in the goals and the dreams, the ideas that we have? One of the ways, a key to winning is to set priority. Number one, we got to identify what's the priority. That's what I find very important. Sometimes we don't even know what the priority is. Sometimes we just kind of get up and go about our day, get up and go about trying to make something happen. And what I try to encourage my clients, and I do this for myself, is write down all of my tasks, write down all of my action steps, and then prioritize them. Years ago, again, I learned an organizing tip that you make your list and then you do A through whatever. So let's say you have 5 things on your list. Everything is A, B, C, D, E, right? A, B, C, D. Yeah, okay, I just want to make sure. A, B, yeah. And then as you go A, B, C, D, E, then you go back and you set the priority 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Because the A gave you like what the item, like the A, B, C, D, E, that was like, okay, these are the 5 things I have to do, right? And then the priority is what's number 1, what's number 2, what's number 3. So even though it was A, B, C, D, E, A might be 5, D might be 1, right? And so you set the priority and then you move about your list according to what is number 1, what's number 2, etc., 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 right? You set the priority. And a question I have for you today is, what are the priorities? What's the most important thing that you have to do today to get you closer to your win? What's the most important thing you have to do this week to get you closer to your win? I have something that I actually have to give to my accountant this week for me to have a winning week, right? I have to get certain documents to my accountant this week. What's your priority today? What's your priority this week? What is your priority this month? What are your priorities for the year? This is how I want to encourage you to tackle the task list, tackle the action steps, tackle the things that you have to tackle in order to win. It's to set the priority. And once you have your items, your list, your task, whatever the case may be, your action steps listed according to or worked out according to a priority, then here's the next step. Step number 2 is you're going to, within that list, prioritize, check this out, what has the greatest need, right? So even though I have a priority list, some things require more of me than others. Some things require more of me than others. So it may require more time, more concentration, more energy. So you're gonna reorganize or maybe label, okay, this item is a priority, but it doesn't require as much time or energy. This requires maybe 1 hour, while this item on the bottom requires 20 hours. And then you're gonna reorg, right, the priority list according to what requires the most time. And you're gonna reorg according to one of two ways. However you work, either what's the quick thing I can get done right away to what's going to take the most time, or flip it, what's going to take the most time to what's the fastest thing to do. I tend to work what's the thing that's going to be the things that's the fastest I can do till all list them according to what's the quickest thing, the thing that requires the least amount of time to the most amount of time. And here's why I do that. The items that require the least amount of time, I like to get those done and knock them out. So some things might just be send a quick email. That's going to take me 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 minutes. Knock that out. The thing that's going to take me a little more time, I may have to schedule that out over the course of the week or the course of the day or the course of a few hours, whatever it might be. But it's like you list up priorities and then list what requires the most time out of you. And you go at your list, go at your action steps, go at your task list, how, accordingly. But what you're really working through are the priorities. You're really working through the priorities. And I have found amazing results working through my priorities that way, right? Number 1, you list out the priorities. And then number 2, you reorg the list according to what's going to require the most time to what's going to require the least amount of time, or flip it. What's going to require the least amount of time to what's going to require the most amount of time, and hit your list according to whichever way works best for you, right? And again, for me, I like to get the fastest thing out the way and then work my way down. So that way I feel like I'm gaining momentum. Get this done, get this done. Okay, this is going to take more time, it's going to take more time. But let me get these 3 things, knock them out my list, knock them out the way. So now I feel like I'm gaining some momentum. That's my own little self trick, right? But again, today we're talking about priorities, right? And the way to win is to set priorities. Don't waste your time. I can't tell you what not to do. I would encourage you not to waste your time trying to balance everything, but really look at where you're trying to go, how you're trying to win, in what area of your life you're trying to win in, and then set the priorities. So thank you for joining us on the Wake Up and Win show. Thank you for being tuned in to our little chat and tip about how to set priorities and tackle your priority list. Now, y'all know the drill. From this point, we get up, we get out there, and we go win. Now, as you all know, I'm also a coach, so if you ever want to work with me, if you feel like, hey, I need to work with her, I need to get with her, well, hit me up. Let's chat. My books are open and I'm taking on new clients. I have a full client list, but I'm taking on a few more clients. So if you want to work with me, the description is below. The link is in the description below. But also, more importantly, I want to announce to you what we have coming up is the Win Experience. Set the date, May 25th. The Win Experience is coming. And you might be asking, what's the Win Experience? And that's a great question on a early Friday morning. So the Win Experience is about me gathering together with like-minded women who want to really make things happen beyond just a desiring a thing or wishing for a thing, but really putting into play and putting into practice, putting into priority, what's it going to take to get there. So I have some wonderful women that are going to be challenging us, some powerful women that are going to be really helping, giving us some instruction. And then as a minister, I also like to, attach or include some foundation, some scriptural foundation that takes the spiritual and applies it in a very practical way, right? Take the spiritual understanding, the spiritual thoughts, spiritual disciplines, and really apply them in a very practical way. So come and join us May 28th for the Win Experience. And again, that link to pre-register is down below also in the description. And you can sign up and then you'll start getting more and more information beginning today. As a matter of fact, today we launch our campaign to start registering folks for the Win Experience coming in May. So join us then. But until then, we get up, we get out there, and let's go win. Y'all have a great day. Peace.